The first time my sister Brie Mercer called me cheap, she did it with a laugh. The second time, she did it in front of guests, under bright hotel lights, like she wanted the word to stay on me. We were in Wellington, New Zealand, at Brie's engagement dinner on the waterfront. Brie was 29, a local-style influencer who filmed every meal like it mattered. Her fiancé, Callum Price, was 33, smooth and loud, with a job selling luxury cars for a big dealer in Auckland. I arrived with my gift in a plain brown bag. Inside was a small leather notebook with their initials on it and a card. Build a life that stays kind. Brie saw the bag and gave me a quick look that said, not good enough. Callum's mother, Vivian Price, stood near the table. Vivian was around 60, a corporate lawyer, calm and sharp. When she shook my hand, her grip was firm. You must be Talia, she said. Yes, I replied. I tried to smile. At dinner, I ordered water. My stomach was tight, and I wanted a clear head. Brie pointed at my glass. Tap water, she said, loud. Of course. My sister is still cheap. A few people laughed, not sure if it was a joke. Callum smiled like it was cute. I felt heat rise in my face. I was not cheap. I was careful. I worked as a payroll supervisor at Wellington City Hospital. I was 31 and I lived in a small flat above a bakery. I did not buy fancy things because I had bills to cover. Bills no one thanked me for. 2 years earlier, our dad, Colin Mercer, slipped at work on the ferry docks and tore his back. He was 58 and had fixed engines his whole life. After the fall, he could not work the way he used to. The paychecks stopped. The pain stayed. Mum, Janine Mercer, was 55 and worked in a school library. Her pay could cover food, but not the mortgage, not the power, not the clinic visits Dad now needed. So I stepped in. Quietly, I set up direct payments from my account. Mortgage, power, water, Dad's doctor bills. I even paid Brie's phone plan because she said she needed it for work. Brie's work was posting photos, but I still paid because I did not want her cut off. At first, I told myself it was temporary. Then, months became years. Back at the dinner, Brie stood for a toast. She raised her glass and smiled at the cameras. Some people stay small, she said. Some people stay cheap. But I'm building bigger. Her eyes flicked toward me. It was quick, but it was clear. Vivian did not laugh. She watched Brie like she was keeping score. After dinner, guests went to the balcony for photos. Brie pulled me aside near the hallway where the music was softer. You could have brought something decent, she said. Callum's family has standards. I brought what I chose, I said. Brie leaned closer. Stop acting broke. You never travel. You never buy anything. Where does your money go, Talia? It goes where it needs to go, I replied. She scoffed. Fine. I'll say it again. You are cheap. Then she turned sweet as two guests walked by. Love you, sis, she sang, like she had not just cut me. My chest hurt, but I stayed. Leaving would look weak, and Brie loved watching me shrink. When the photos ended, Brie waved at the table of gifts. Let's open them, she said. Phones rose like a wall of glass. She opened box after box. A designer bag, a gold bracelet, a weekend trip voucher. She squealed and posed. Then she grabbed my plain brown bag. She pulled out the notebook and frowned. A notebook? She said. Are you serious? It's for your plans. I tried. Brie held it up for everyone. My sister brought me a notebook, she announced, because she is too cheap to buy a real gift. Laughter popped around the table. Someone said, ouch. My ears rang. I stood up. I'm going to go, I said, because my voice was shaking. Brie tossed the brown bag at my feet like it was trash. Take your cheap stuff, she snapped. Don't ruin my night. I picked up the bag and walked out before my tears could fall in front of them. Outside, the wind off the harbour was cold. I stood under a streetlight, breathing hard. I reached into the bag to grab the notebook. My fingers touched paper instead. An envelope, thick, sealed. On the front, In neat black ink were 3 words that made my stomach drop. For Talia only. My hands shook as I tore the seal. Inside was 1 folded sheet and a small USB drive taped to it. The note was short. Talia, you do not know me, but you need to see what is happening. I work at Carry Bank in the fraud unit. Your sister's wedding deposits and gift funds are not coming from Callum. They are coming from accounts linked to you. Check the files. Do not confront anyone yet. If you do, they will move faster. Meet me tomorrow at 9 a.m. at the Carry Bank branch on Lambton Quay. Ask for Mara Keats. I read the name twice. Mara Keats. Then my phone buzzed. A message from Bree. Don't be dramatic. You embarrassed me. Family dinner at Mum's is Sunday. Come and act normal. I stared at the words. Act normal. Like she had not just crushed me. I slid the USB into my pocket, wiped my face, and whispered, Fine, I'll act normal. But something had changed. The word cheap no longer stung. It sounded like a clue, and I was ready to follow it. Quick pause, friend. If you are enjoying this story so far, tell me honestly, do you like how it is going? Or do you want it even more intense? What is your opinion about this particular story right now? Also, what do you think about my channel, TrueVenge Chronicles? I read your comments, and I use them to make the next story stronger. Please write where you're watching from today, city, and country, so we can see how far this community reaches. And if you are new here, please tap subscribe and turn on the bell, so you never miss a new revenge story. Drop a like if you want Talia to win, and tell me if you would stay calm too. If you know someone who has a sister like Bree, share this video with them. Alright, back to the storm. Your support keeps these stories alive. Truly. The next morning, I went to Carry Bank on Lambton Quay. I wore a plain jacket and tied my hair back. I wanted to look like a woman who had lost her pride, not a woman about to fight. At the front desk, I said, I'm here to see Mara Keats. A woman in a grey blazer appeared. She was mid-40s, with dark hair pulled tight and eyes that missed nothing. Talia Mercer? She asked. Yes, I'm Mara, she said. Come with me. Her office was small and neat. She closed the door and spoke fast, like time mattered. I had to get the note to you without your sister noticing, she said. That is why I used the gift bag. So it was you, I whispered. Mara nodded. Callum Price came to our Auckland branch last month, she said. He tried to open a joint wedding account using your details. One field did not match, so it triggered a review. When we looked closer, we found more. My mouth went dry. Using my details, how? Mara slid a folder across the desk. Your full name, birthday, old address, and a copied signature, she said. Someone had access. I saw Bree's face in my mind. Bree had lived with me after uni. She had used my laptop, my printer, and my mail. I had never locked anything from her because she was my sister. Mara turned her screen toward me. These payments you set up for your parents are clean, she said. Mortgage, power, clinic bills. The problem is, what was added later? A list of direct debits filled the screen. Names I did not know. Wedding vendors. A car service. A rental company tied to the Price name. I never added those, I said. I know, Mara replied. They were added from a device in Auckland. The login used a password reset linked to your email. The reset code was sent to your sister's phone number. My heart beat hard. How can you be sure it was her number? Mara showed me another page. Bree's number sat there in black and white on a form. She used it on an account application last year, Mara said. Same number. I grabbed the edge of the desk. How much did they take? Mara's voice stayed steady. $87,000 in 9 months, she said. Small pulls at first, then bigger. It was designed to hide. The room felt too small. I pictured every long shift, every skipped treat, every no I told myself, and I felt sick. There is more, Mara said. Callum also tried to get a personal loan in your name. $120,000. Our system stopped it. That is why he switched to a joint fund plan. So Bree called me cheap, I whispered, while she was spending my money. Mara did not argue. She simply nodded. What do I do now? I asked. I can lock your profile and freeze the suspicious debits, Mara said. But if we do it today, your sister's next payments may bounce, and she will run. If you can hold your nerve for a few days, we can catch them in the act. Hold my nerve. I thought about Bree's smile. I thought about how she made people laugh at me. Mara added, I also want you to meet a detective. Financial crimes. She will tell you what evidence matters. An hour later, I sat across from Detective Aroha Ngata. She was 39, calm, with a steady voice that made me feel less dizzy. This is identity misuse, Aroha said. If you report it, your sister could be charged. My throat tightened. She's my sister, and you are her victim, Aroha said. Family does not erase a crime. She leaned forward. Do not warn them. If they ask you to sign anything, do not sign. Stall. Let them talk. Let them brag. Save every text. When I left the station, the wind cut through my sleeves. I walked straight to my friend Anika Rhodes, who owned a tiny cafe in Newtown. Anika was 32, and honest in a way that scared people. She listened, then said, You did not lose because you were cheap. You lost because you were quiet. That hit harder than Bree's insult. That night I checked my bank app and my email. I found password reset requests I never made. Someone had been trying again and again. I changed every password and added new security, just like Mara told me. But we did not freeze the debits yet. Not until we were ready. On Saturday, Bree called me with a sweet voice. Sis, about the dinner, she said. You know I was joking. I heard you. I replied. Good, she said. Sunday at Mum's is important. Callum's parents will be there. We're doing a little family moment. What kind of moment? I asked. A budget talk, Bree said, like it was normal. Mum says you might help, since you're good with money. Callum wants us all on the same page. I almost laughed. Help? Same page. That was how they dressed up a trap. Sure, I said. I'll be there. On Sunday, I arrived early to help Mum set the table. Mum bustled around, nervous and proud. Dad sat on the couch, stiff, his back still hurting. When he saw me, his eyes softened. Love, he said. You look tired. I'm fine. I lied. A knock hit the door. My pulse jumped. Bree walked in first, dressed in cream, her ring shining. Callum followed with wine and a grin that belonged on a billboard. Vivian Price came in behind them with her husband, Peter. Peter was quiet, kind, and around 65. Vivian's smile was polite, but her eyes flicked to me, quick and sharp. Bree hugged Mum, then leaned close to me. Hey, cheap sis, she whispered, like it was funny. I smiled back, slow and calm. Hey Bree, inside my pocket. My phone buzzed with a bank alert. A payee change request has been submitted. My stomach dropped. Someone was trying to move money again. Right now, inside my parents' house. And I understood, clear as daylight. This dinner was not for family. It was for my signature. We sat at the table, and Mum served roast like nothing was wrong. Bree chatted about flowers. Callum chatted about big plans. I watched his hands. They never stayed still. Halfway through the meal, Bree clinked her fork. Family moment, she said. Callum and I want to buy a home fast. Mum beamed. Wonderful. Callum opened a folder and slid 2 papers onto the table. Just a guarantor form, he said. It helps us get a better rate. No risk. Pure admin. My throat tightened. Admin was never just admin. Bree pushed the papers toward me. You're good with numbers, she said. Sign first. I did not touch the pen. Dad shifted behind us. Mum looked confused. Bree's smile thinned. Come on, Talia, she said. Don't be cheap. This is for family. Cheap. Again. Like a leash. Callum leaned in. You have savings, he said. You don't need much. Vivian's fork paused. Her eyes flicked from the papers to my face. I forced a weak laugh, the kind Bree expected. I need to read it, I said. Bree rolled her eyes. It's 2 pages. Still, I said, and I pulled the papers closer without signing. My phone buzzed under the table. I glanced down. New direct debit scheduled. $14,900 to North Coast Bridal. My heart went cold. They were not asking for help. They were setting up the final pull. I looked up at Bree's bright face and Callum's calm grin and knew the choice. If I signed, I would be trapped for years. If I refused, they would attack me tonight. And they thought I was alone. Either way, the real fight had just started. Bree stared at me like I had stolen her spotlight. "Read it later," she said. "Sign now." I kept my voice soft. "I can't sign what I don't understand." Callum's grin stayed in place, but his eyes cooled. "This is normal," he said. "People do this for family." Mum looked at me, worried. "Love, is it risky?" she asked. Bree cut in. "She's just being cheap," she said. "She always does this." I took a slow breath. "Let me take photos. I'll review them tonight and reply tomorrow." Bree opened her mouth to fight, but Vivian spoke first. "That's reasonable," Vivian said, calm. "No one should sign without reading." Callum's jaw tightened. "Sure," he said. "Take your time." I took photos and handed the papers back. When dinner ended, Bree walked me to the door, like a guard. "Don't ruin this for me," she warned. "If you embarrass me again, I'm done with you." "I won't," I lied. In my car, I opened the photos. It was not just admin. It was a full guarantee. If Bree and Callum missed payments, the bank could chase me for everything. My phone buzzed. A text from Bree. "Sign tomorrow. No excuses." Then, another text from an unknown number. "Do not sign. Callum has done this before." I typed, "Who is this? Vivian Price?" The reply said. My breath caught. Then another message. "Meet me tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. at the Botanic Garden Cafe. Come alone." At 7:30, Vivian sat with a black folder and tired eyes. "I saw those papers," she said. "Callum told me you were happy to help. He lied. He has debt. He hides it. He chases shortcuts." "And Bree?" I asked. Vivian's mouth tightened. "I heard her in the hall," she said. She said, "If she won't sign, we'll make her look selfish until she does." That cleared the fog in my head. This was not a mistake. It was a plan. "I have evidence," I said. And I told her about Mara Keats and the fraud trail. Vivian slid her card toward me. "Then use it," she said. "If you need a witness, I will not lie for my son." I went straight to Cowrie Bank. Mara listened and nodded. "That payee change request during dinner," she said. "We traced it. It was from Callum's laptop, using a hotspot from Bree's phone. Detective Aroha joined us on a call. We can set a controlled stop," she said. "Let the next payment attempt happen, block it in real time, and log the reaction." Mara added, "Bree booked a vendor showcase at the Intercontinental next Friday. If we block the charge during the event, it will happen in public." Public was Bree's favorite stage. "Do it," I said. For 5 days, I saved every message and every alert. I acted soft when Bree called and said, "I'm still thinking." She left voice notes that started sweet and ended sharp. "Just sign, sis. Then, if you loved me, you would. Then, stop being cheap." On Thursday night, Mara called. "Tomorrow is the day," she said. "Wear something simple. Keep your phone charged. And do not react until I tell you." At 6:30 p.m., Friday, I walked into the Intercontinental Ballroom with one goal. Let Bree call me cheap one more time. The ballroom was bright and loud, full of flowers, sample cakes, and shiny booths. A banner read, "Forever starts here." Bree stood in the middle like a queen, filming a quick reel with 2 friends. One friend, Nessa Lang, 27, was Bree's camera girl. The other, Jodie Muir, 30, ran a small makeup brand and loved drama. Callum moved from booth to booth, shaking hands with vendors like he was signing deals. He spotted me and lifted his eyebrows. "There you are," he said. "Good. We need to finish the guarantee tonight." Bree rushed over and kissed the air near my cheek. "You look nice," she said. then lowered her voice. Don't get ideas. You're here to sign. I'm here for you, I said, acting small. She smiled, satisfied, and pulled me toward a booth where a woman in a blazer waited with a folder. The woman's name tag said, Rena, accounts. This is the final step, Bree said, loud enough for people nearby to hear. My sister is helping us. She's finally not being cheap. A few heads turned. I felt the old heat rise, but I kept my face calm. Rena opened the folder and slid a pen toward me. Just sign here, she said. I reached for the pen, then paused. Can I read it again? I asked. Bree's laugh was sharp. Still? She said. Guys, she thinks every dollar will vanish if she blinks. Callum leaned in. Talia? He said, smiling with his teeth. Don't make a scene. Across the room, I saw Vivian and Peter walk in. Vivian's gaze found mine and held it, steady, like a quiet promise. I also saw a woman near the cake booth, in a simple cardigan, pretending to study cupcakes. It was Mara, blending in on purpose. Near the exit, a tall woman in a dark jacket leaned against a pillar, watching the room. Detective Aroha. My heart beat hard, but it was not fear. It was timing. Bree lifted her phone and aimed it at me. Say hi, she chirped to her followers. This is my sister Talia. She's so cheap, but tonight she's learning how to support family. People laughed again, the same kind of laugh from the dinner. I looked at the pen. I looked at Bree's camera. I looked at Callum's calm face. Then my own phone vibrated in my hand. Mara had texted 3 words. Now. Do not sign. I raised my eyes and stopped acting small. Quick pause. Again, friend. If you are enjoying this story so far, tell me honestly, do you like how it is going? Or do you want it even more intense? What is your opinion about this particular story right now? Also, what do you think about my channel TrueVenge Chronicles? I read your comments, and I use them to make the next story stronger. Please write where you are watching from today, city and country, so we can see how far this community reaches. And if you are new here, please tap subscribe and turn on the bell, so you never miss a new revenge story. Drop a like if you want Talia to win, and tell me if you would stay calm too. If you know someone who has a sister like Bree, share this video with them. Alright, back to the storm. Your support keeps these stories alive, truly. I set the pen down. I'm not signing, I said, clear and loud. Bree blinked. Then she smiled for the camera. See? She laughed. Cheap. Callum's voice dropped low. Talia, don't do this. I lifted my phone. Everyone keeps calling me cheap, I said. So let's talk about money. Real money. Cheap. Rena, the accounts woman, froze with the folder open. Bree tried to grab my wrist. Stop, she hissed. I stepped back. No, I said. You made it public. So, I will make it honest. I tapped my screen. For 2 years, I've paid Mum and Dad's mortgage because Dad got hurt, I said. I've paid the power bill and clinic bills. I even paid your phone plan. Bree laughed too hard. Liar, she said. Mara walked up, calm as stone. She is not lying, Mara said. I'm Mara Keats, Cowrie Bank Fraud Unit. Whispers spread. Callum stepped forward. This is private, he snapped. Detective Aroha moved in. Not anymore, she said. We are investigating identity misuse tied to these accounts. Bree's face drained. What are you talking about? Mara held up a slim folder. We traced direct debits added to Talia Mercer's account from an Auckland device, she said. We traced password resets to Bree Mercer's phone number. And we traced today's payment attempt to this booth, Rena whispered. Payment attempt? Mara nodded. A charge for $14,900, she said. Scheduled under Talia's account. Callum's eyes flicked toward Bree. Bree's voice rose. She offered to help. I held up the guarantor pages on my phone. This is what you wanted, I said. A full guarantee. If you miss one payment, the bank chases me. You wanted to tie me to your debt. Is this spirited in? Mum's voice trembled behind us. Bree, she whispered. She had walked in with Dad, thinking this was just a fun wedding event. Now Mum looked pale. Bree turned on her at once. "Mum, she's doing this to punish me," Bree cried. "She hates that I'm happy." Vivian stepped forward. "Janine," she said, "I can confirm Callum has hidden debt. He brought this plan to me first." Callum snapped. "Mum, stop." Vivian's eyes stayed hard. "No," she said. "You stop." Aroha looked at me. "Are you ready to authorize the freeze?" "Yes," I said. Mara tapped her phone. Freeze applied. Rena's tablet beeped. She stared at the screen. "The payment failed," she said. "Declined." Bree made a sharp sound. "What did you do?" she screamed. I kept my voice steady. "I stopped paying for things you never earned," I said. Callum's mask cracked. "You ruined everything," he hissed. Aroha lifted a hand. "Sir, step back," she said. Two officers moved closer, quiet and firm. Bree grabbed Callum's arm. "Fix it," she begged. Vivian added, "I have the earlier draft," she said. Callum emailed it to me with Talia's name already filled in. She held up her phone. Bree's lips parted, but no words came. Dad stepped forward with his cane. "You shamed your sister," he said to Bree, "while you took from her." Bree's face twisted. "I deserved it. She has more than me." I felt something settle inside me, cold and clean. "My savings were not your prize," I said. Aroha spoke to them both. "We need statements," she said. "You are part of an active investigation. Do you understand?" Callum nodded stiffly. Bree stared at me, like I was a stranger. As they walked away, Bree threw one last line over her shoulder. "You really are cheap. You wouldn't even pay for my happiness." I met her eyes. "Happiness you steal is not happiness," I said. "It's a bill, and it always comes due." That night, Mara helped me lock every account and start the recovery steps. The fraud watch stopped the bleeding. For the first time in years, I slept without fear of a new alert. At home, Mum cried at my kitchen table. Dad sat beside her, quiet and ashamed. "I thought you were just careful," Mum said. "I didn't know you were carrying us. I should have spoken sooner," I admitted. But Bree made every talk feel like war. Dad took my hand. "No more secrets," he said. "No more you paying alone." We made a new plan, with clear limits and clear dates. I still helped my parents, but no one had access to my accounts, ever again. A few weeks later, Bree asked to meet me at Annika's cafe. She arrived without shine, eyes red. "Can you fix this?" she asked. I shook my head. "I can't fix what you chose," I said, "but you can stop lying and start paying back." Her mouth trembled. "I was scared," she whispered. "I thought if I didn't look rich, no one would respect me." I stood up, calm. "Respect is earned," I said, "not taken." Over the next months, the truth kept spreading, not because I chased it, but because evidence speaks. Bank logs showed every login. Vendor contracts showed every date. Callum's dealer suspended him while police reviewed the case. Bree's loud friends went quiet when they realized the joke was theft. Mara said the bank could return part of the money through fraud recovery. It did not happen overnight, but each refund felt like air returning to my lungs. I opened a new account in my name only and moved my pay there. I also changed my emails and passwords, so no mum and dad downsized to a smaller place closer to dad's clinic. They followed a budget plan, and I helped with one set transfer each month, written down and agreed. Dad stopped calling himself a burden. Mum stopped calling Bree to keep the peace. Vivian sent the fraud report to her firm's team so they could warn clients about scams like this. 6 months later, I signed papers for a small townhouse near the hills. I did not buy it to prove anything. I bought it because I wanted a door that no one could push me out of, and a life that no one could drain in secret. That was my real win. Sometimes the old shame tried to return, but I would open my notebook and write the numbers. Facts calmed me. The word cheap became a reminder. Always protect yourself first, even from family. I walked out into the Wellington wind. The harbour smelled the same as always, but my chest felt lighter. Bree had called me cheap. Now I knew what I really was. I was free. Lesson 1. Keep a paper trail, even with family. Use separate accounts, save receipts, and turn on bank alerts. If someone asks you to sign fast, pause. Read every page. Take photos. Send them to a trusted person. A slow yes is safer than a rushed yes, every single time. Lesson 2. Help is kind, but hidden help can turn into silent harm. If you pay bills for others, set clear limits and clear dates. Say what you pay and why. If they shame you, stop funding them. Respect starts when your money has boundaries. They protect your peace daily. Lesson 3. When someone steals with a smile, do not fight with only feelings. Bring proof to the right people. A bank officer, a lawyer, or a detective can turn fear into a plan. Stay calm, collect facts, and pick the right public moment to speak. Let truth hit hard. Now, I want to hear from you. If your sister called you cheap in front of guests, would you stay quiet or speak up? Would you report the fraud or handle it only in the family? Tell me what you would do and where you are watching from. If this story helped you, try one step this week. Check your accounts and set one boundary. Write your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more. Thank you so much for being here and supporting me. I truly appreciate every like, every comment, and every subscribe. It means more than you know, and it motivates me to keep bringing you stronger, more emotional, and more satisfying stories. If you already subscribed, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Please keep taking an interest in the channel, keep coming back, and keep sharing your thoughts with me in the comments. And if you're watching this channel for the first time, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. Also, make sure you check out a new video on the channel right now. There are more powerful stories waiting for you. Goodbye.